In a world where hopium and common sense collide, starring the CryptoKeeper and BlockchainCrusader. Welcome to Debate Crypto. Question everything, trust nothing. It's your boys, CryptoKeeper, BlockchainCrusader. Good evening, people. How is everybody? Hopefully everybody is doing well. Make sure you guys smash up the likes. Give us a follow, or I should say a subscription, a subscribe, if you will. We always appreciate that. And then also make sure you follow us on Twitter. Actually, our Twitter, I haven't been saying this. We have not been doing just about anything on Instagram. But our Instagram and our Twitter is DebateCrypto OG. So if you want to check us out on both of those, I make no promises with the Instagram because we just haven't
it's a work in progress.
Right. But it is there. So if you're looking to follow us on some other platforms, catch us over there. And then as always, you guys probably know us from TikTok anyway, so I don't even need to get into that. Miguelito, ¿cómo estás, amigo?
Que bolón, tiburón. I'm good, bro. Into this news. Bring on the heat for these people watching.
I'm excited to get into it tonight. We got some interesting topics for you, Miguel. What's on the podium, brother?
Dude, we got some more possible regulation coming after crypto security. We'll get more into details on how that's going to work using mixers. In case anybody doesn't know what that is, we will go into details about that. We've got U.S. politicians or U.S. possible politicians promising, right, candidates promising that they will make Bitcoin legal tender. And finally, to wrap it up, we got Crypto.com bringing the institutional investors onto their application. So they're going to be greasing some palms, if you know what I mean.
Well, let's check out the crypto markets right now. Let's see what's going on today. I think we had a little bit of something happening today. So if we check out the markets, we have got, drum roll, please. The market is at, sorry, that was too far down there, 1.75 trillion with a T, at up 1.12%. Let me actually update this just to make sure. Oh, boy. Well, apparently it just went down. We're up 0.5%, according to CoinMarketCap. Bitcoin is at 39,373, ETH 2618, BNB still under 400. Oh, man, USDC under $1. Watch out. XRP, Miguel's favorite, down about 1.38%. Terra Luna still up on the week. That's a plus. Cardano up on the week. Solana up on the week. And Avalanche down a few percent on the week. I want to throw in here just kind of as a random coin that Miguel and I have always liked that we want to kind of put the spotlight on. Polygon Matic. I love, Miguel is starting to back off a little bit on what he thinks of ETH just because of the JP Morgan stuff. But I have really been a fan of Matic all the way through. And yeah, they're at number 17, up 0.82% today. So pretty flat, down about 3 or 4% this week. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I like Polygon, right? I like Matic for the simple fact that they make play to earn games like Zed Run, the Red Village, right? Shout out to that. That's, I believe, is launching tomorrow. It's finally their official day open for everybody to use.
Yeah, what happened with that?
The Red Village. So they had an alpha. I guess it was kind of like a closed alpha or something. And then now they're finally opening up for the general public.
So when we were looking on Sunday, the reason we couldn't find it is because it was literally closed off to the public.
I think so. I think that's what happened. I didn't get those exact words, but that's the feeling I got from the Discord. Yeah. So definitely looking out for that. And they do it on Polygon, right? It's ETH on Polygon, and that's why these games are possible with super low, practically no gas fees at all, and you're able to make money playing these games because of Polygon. So I am a bull on that stuff, right? That does make sense to just be used that way.
Speaking of bull, why don't you show me some bullish information on the charts? All right,
let's do it. So here we are, guys. This is how bullish we are right now. Boom. We're still trending sideways. We're still just back and forth is inside this range, right? This 42K, which was support, is massive resistance right here. We don't break 42,000. We're just going to keep ranging sideways. We're also still inside this regression downtrend, right? So we need to break above this this quarter is almost over already, and then we'll be creating a new quarterly pivot. But we're still in this downtrend for the past 2 quarters. We need to break the trend by reaching this 52,000. But first off, we need to go for this 42, which we obviously have not been able to stay above for long periods of time. The RSI is somewhat neutral right now on the daily. If we jump down to the 4-hour, RSI is coming down a little bit from almost overbought territory. But yeah, guys, until we don't get above this 42, we're just range bound.
Hey,
Just
so
range bound.
it's
Possibly the lower part of this range right here between the support is 35, right? And
well,
that's what everybody's focusing on right now.
so albeit it's very small, we continue to make higher lows. We're not making higher highs right now, but we're still making higher lows. And I think that's important to continue that. As much as I am a fundamentals guy as well as a technicals guy, I think that's important, because ultimately trending to the upside, albeit slowly, is still trending upward. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm
You're talking about this blue line right here that I just
Yep.
drew out, right? Let me
Yep.
make it white for everybody to see. This white line right here. Obviously, you can see we touched here. We came down, right? Don't worry about the wicks, because that's not where we closed off, right? We came
Right.
back up. That's where the candle closed. Higher, low, right? Higher, low once again. So we are in this kind of pattern on the way up, but we need to break out of this regression trend. We need to reclaim this 42K. There's a lot of barriers we need to take on to make this happen. Why don't we look at an altcoin? Why don't we look at something like, let's say, Solana? Well, let's look at Solana.
You centralized person, you.
Oh, you want to talk about centralization, or you want to talk about Ethereum? So wait, hold on. I got a bunch of stuff on here.
Holy mackerel! I mean, this is looking like you're actually a professional trader over here, bro. I got to give you props on this. This actually looks like you might know what you're doing.
Yeah,
here.
let me clear this all out. Yeah, shout out to CVO, by the way. Always like to give him credit. I've learned all this from him, CVO, and his partner Magic Internet Money. So we've broken through the bottom support. We're could bounce off this third level of support. If we come down here lower, we will be reaching a $66 Solana. Very possible. We're still stuck between here. Let's see. Obviously, we're in a downward regression trend here. If we pull the regression here, we were in a somewhat upward, little bit of an upward momentum, right? But then if you pull this pivot, which is this quarter, we broke out, right? We broke out of it. We lost the pivot, and then we came down. We lost support 1. We lost support 2. We tried to reclaim, and we dropped back down again. We could be coming down to this 66, maybe, to eventually bounce off. If Bitcoin does not recover, or Bitcoin has any type of slump to the downward side, these cryptos are going to be reaching lower lows briefly and quickly at any moment. So if we do a volume, no, delete that. So let me get rid of all of this. Let's do a quick volume profile here from October, right? From the last quarter to now. The main volume right here in this range is what is it? $90. So $90 is the main point of trading, main transaction point. The range high is this 187 or so. That's obviously going to be very hard to reclaim, so we can be range bound up here and down until we have a major cycle change.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, that's what we got for Solana. Take an eye for that. Keep an eye out for that $66 Solana. Probably a good time to be loading up. Obviously, not financial advice, but try to scoop up as low as you can.
Yeah, I had a Solana's been a tough one for me, because I have a really close friend of mine that actually took like a big chunk of like his life savings and bought into Solana, because a good friend of his that ultimately is a friend of mine that's like really wealthy.
When did he buy it? At like $200?
It was like, I think 170, I think. And listen, long term, just like I tell everybody here in the chat, if you've made that mistake before, Miguel's made that mistake before, I've made that mistake before, we've bought like tops, right? But it, right now has to feel some type of way. I was really glad he was actually planning on like pulling a bunch of profits real quick to like put more money down on his house. Well, that didn't happen, right? Thankfully, he still had his other funds. So I've had a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth for Solana, but ultimately there's a lot of people that love Solana. What I have had a good taste in my mouth for is Crypto.com. I have been a Crypto.com bull for a while now, and they're actually stepping in to they're getting into bed with the institution. So let's take a peek at this real quick. Crypto.com rolls out its exchange platform in the United States. Following its immense marketing efforts, Crypto.com finally begins the initial rollout of its services to users in the US. In an announcement, Crypto.com mentioned that its exchange platform is already available to users who are waitlisted and will be available to more users soon. Currently, the trading platform can only be used by selected institutional investors. However, in the next few months, the exchange will be offering its services to more investors who want to trade using Crypto.com. The exchange is also inviting institutional investors based in the United States to join their waitlist and use the platform. Apart from the standard services of the exchange, Crypto.com also mentioned the announcement that its VIP users will also have access to various events, rewards, and market insights. Additionally, they will also give these users access to exclusive forums. I'm interested to see. I've been using Crypto.com for a while. I think I've been using Crypto.com since Crypto.com was available to use or really close to it. I've been really happy with their platform. I think that it is very user friendly. It's a centralized entity, right? So you've got to deal with some of the centralized crap like we were talking about the other day where Miguel and I were trying to make a transaction and, there's some headaches there. But I'm interested to see where are they trying to head with this as it relates to the institutional investors? Do you know?
I mean, speculation, obviously, but they've paid massive money to the UFC. They bought that arena, right? Now they're getting in with the institutional players in the United States saying, hey, we're going to make a foundation here in the United States that nobody's going to take away from them. They're heading for Coinbase status, right? They're trying, right? That's what they're trying to do. Get in with the institutional players, get in with the politicians, make sure that this happens for them and make themselves concrete in the crypto space forever, just how nobody is ever expecting Binance to go away or Coinbase to go away. Some other exchanges can disappear. Crypto.com is making sure that they're one of the ones that stay around forever, and they are well taken care of by politicians and have institutional players on their side supporting them along the way.
You want to know, I think this is one of the best examples of having the right domain name. I think legitimately they got the name Crypto.com and
they don't even have a website.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like they just have the right name. And it kind of goes to show you how easily people like, oh, Crypto.com, that's got to be like one of the plate right now. I love it. I think it is actually run very well. And they're huge players in the space now. But I really think that started with one thing and one thing only. It started with, hey, we've got the name. And I think it really was that simple. So
I mean, it's just so like you say Crypto.com, you instantly know what you're talking about. Like it's crypto. It's not like, oh, Coinbase. What's Coinbase? A base about coins, right? Binance. What's Binance? It's finance, but with a B. It's crypto.
Exactly.
Boom. You know exactly what it is.
And speaking of crypto, we're going to get into this in a few minutes. Stick around, guys.
Whoa, hold on. No. Casey with the super chat. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it.
That's a heavy hitting super chat, Casey.
Thank you so much.
We greatly appreciate it, man. Thank you. I thought you were about to cut me off because you thought I was going to talk about the next article or the article. I just wanted to bring up, guys, stick around because the end of the show, we're going to be talking about a possibility of the Bitcoin being the or
only
a possibility for, guess what? Real deal, accepted money, legal tender in the United States. So stick around for that. Super excited. But in the meantime, while it's not, maybe we could mix our coins up. Let's talk privacy. Let's talk privacy.
Super important.
This is super important. I think a lot of people don't. I actually, real quick, I heard earlier today, I was listening to Pomp, and he had on the guy from Domains.
GoDaddy?
No.
I don't know.
No. I've unstoppable domains. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay,
I've got
okay.
one, right? He
Yeah.
had the unstoppable domains guy on, and we can talk about this some other time maybe. But I wanted to throw out there they have this new thing that just came out, I think, yesterday, and essentially the whole idea behind it is your digital identity online and you having the ability to either give a certain amount of information or not. And in exchange, it's how they're basically the apps and the different websites are able to basically you're able to monetize yourself as opposed to Facebook essentially selling your information. Now I can sell my own information, right? And one of the things that they have and are doing is like, hey, what's your social media following? Oh, you have a big social media following? Fantastic. We will give you X amount of money to try out our platform. And it's a reward system based on yourself. And the cool thing is you only have to let them know what you want them to know or what you think they need to know. And it's taking back control of your own, which is what we're about to talk about, privacy. I think so many times we've talked about this a lot, but people just want convenience, and it doesn't matter if they're being, the big thing that most people say is, well, I don't have anything to hide, so why does it matter if I'm being private about things or not? Guys, there are so many different things that literally other people don't need to freaking know about what you're doing and selling to you. I don't know. It's out of control. What are you laughing about?
Fun fact. Privacy is so important. Presidents don't let anyone take their poop.
What?
Yes.
Hold on.
When presidents
What?
poop, when any president of any country takes a poop, that poop is taken and secured by their national security team and made sure that this does not get taken. Yes.
No, this is not true.
Yes, listen, because if you take
this is like the gold crapping bug we talked about one time.
I got crazy facts for you, but they're all real. Look it up right now. If you take someone's poop, you can tell a lot about their health. You can tell things about their allergies. You can tell about health problems that they have. And that is all security, private information that presidents do not need other foreign countries knowing. So when they're ever anywhere out and about, whether it's the United States president, the North Korean president, any president anywhere, dictator or not, they do not let their poop be just like go into the toilet system like any other poop. The poop is made sure to be secured and disposed of securely. Yes, that's how important privacy is. It's so you think, oh, I'm doing transactions on the internet, I'm not doing anything wrong, I don't need to be secure. Hey, these presidents are securing their poop. Their poop. So that's how important security and privacy is, guys.
Well, folks, listen, if you can't smash a like after having a nice conversation about presidential poop, this took a hard right or left turn. That is
privacy, bro.
Like, dude, look at what Juggernaut just said here. I love this. This is great. Juggernaut is a member of the community. Miguel is next level. What else do you Google when you're bored? No, but for real, dude, how do you know that?
I know a lot of different things.
Who
knows that? People that are educated, my friend. I mean, dude, it is wild. It is a wild fact. It's crazy that a lot of people don't know this, but yes, it is very, very, very true. Anybody can Google it right now.
That is wild. So if you don't want anyone to know what you're really all about health-wise, guys, you heard what to do. Just hire a group of, I don't know, Secret Service guys to collect your poop.
I'm just trying to make a point.
Who has the job? Who has the job? Is that a job?
I don't know. I'm assuming it has to do
presidential
with
poop collector.
Probably. I don't know. That's not important. What's important is the average person is not concerned about privacy, and yet the thing that you would never think of needs privacy, like poop, is on the next level of privacy, right? So that just shows you privacy is very important. So that is
freaking wild. So moving on, the NCA wants regulation for coin mixers, but the crypto industry is already one step ahead. The chief of NCA claimed that coin mixing services offer a layer of anonymity and protection to criminals looking to launder and wash their dirty funds. Pause. That's always the freaking narrative. It's always about money.
Yeah, but let's explain what mixers are. Okay, I don't know if the article does or not, but for the people watching, coin mixers such as Samurai Wallet, probably Tornado Cash.
Yeah.
Right? What they do is you send your crypto, your whatever, into this pool where a bunch of other people have sent their coins. Think of it as like a, you know, just a big old, you know, like
It's
the
a mixing
lottery.
service.
Yeah, like that lottery thing when they're spinning and all the
Yeah.
little lottery balls are spinning in there, right? Everybody puts their coins in there, it gets spun around, and then you get back the same amount of coins you sent in, but they're not the same coins that you sent
Did
in.
you know that it's more than that? They actually
Oh
put
yeah.
them all together and do fractionalized pieces, parts, and put it into like basically you'll receive 100 different transactions
Mhm.
as per your one
Yeah.
trans. It's wild.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I wanted to keep it simple, but yeah,
yeah,
basically
yeah.
that happens, and then that way they cannot track where your coins left. You know, point A, they came over here, they got all mixed up. You got given coins at point
Yeah,
B, and then point B, you know, you can send them off to point C,
yeah.
where they were initially destined to go, and this makes it a lot more difficult to track where your coins came from
Mhm.
and who they came from and who's the initial sender. It's
Yeah,
just about privacy. I understand they're gonna mix it up with the whole, illegal activity and washing money, but
yeah.
it's mostly about security. Don't let them fool you. You need to have privacy, guys.
Another member of the academy, Penelope, said she had never heard of them. Yeah, Penelope, they are big business, and ultimately, it is. It's about privacy, which is huge, right? It absolutely is. Everything. Just because people want to be private doesn't mean that they're committing felonies. And I think that too many times that's the thought, like, oh, what do you have to hide? And it's like, no. What I don't want is, I mean, literally everything we do
Big
now
brother
is
just
watched.
watching.
Yes, everything. And so, like, at some point, where's the start and where does it end? And we're heading towards a really bad, we're already there, but the privacy, if we can take back some of that, I think it's important. So check this out. So the United Kingdom's National Crime Agency seeks to regulate the crypto coin mixers under the country's laws against money laundering. Coin mixing tools are popular in the decentralized world as they maintain the privacy of transactions. These tools often mix several transactions to obscure the origin of a particular transaction. Then the recipient receives the transactions from a mixing black box comprised of hundreds of transactions from various wallets. This is what I was just talking about. While privacy focused, these tools often face regulators' ire as they are also known as a way for hackers and criminals to wash their funds. Gary Cathcart, the NCA's head of financial investigation, claimed that these transaction mixing tools offer a layer of anonymity to criminals that can be used for churning criminal cash, obscuring its origins and audit trail. But let's pause. Guys, same thing as
They're
always here.
focusing on a tiny fraction of the
Yes.
population
Yes.
and saying that's all that is used
That's
for
all
when
it's
there's
for.
a huge collective of the population can benefit from it with doing zero illegal
And
activities.
KP, you called it. You can be private with cash money, right? The only way that
For
your
now,
cash exactly. But
that's the
right
problem.
now, the only way that your cash is actually private is if the reason that people launder money when it comes to drugs and other nefarious activities is because there's always the other side, the law that's trying to catch up to them, right? So what will happen is marked bills will get tossed into transactions where they know, hey, we've sent this money into the casino. We know X, Y, and Z. These people are doing this, whatever, and they're tracking those serial numbers. Well, essentially what's happening here is they're saying, hey, to heck with your serial numbers. But for now, the only way that you really can guarantee some of your anonymity with cash, even with it being cash money, is you do have to essentially use a mixer of sorts, right? You need to be able to put it in a big pool of money and spit it back out as different bills. But they didn't want to hear that from, hold on a second, but they don't want to hear that most crime for the last 100 years has been cash. 100% KP. Like, the largest and still right now to this day, and it's not even close, the
US
amount
dollars,
of
baby.
the number one most used for criminal activity is the US dollar. That's not a question. That's not a misinformation.
Yep.
It's a freaking
And
fact.
it's not just random criminals either. It's not like Pablo Escobar's out there running around doing that. They're called banks,
Yeah.
institutional traders.
Yep.
That's who's laundering money.
It's everywhere. I mean, it is, and it's just like a lot of other things that we talk about. It's optics. It's, hey, we're doing something to combat this. Let us bring this to the forefront. So while you guys are looking over here, we've got something else going on over here. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They want to just keep you under control, man. They want to know exactly what you're doing all the time and give up all levels of privacy, which is a terrible, terrible thing to happen. And it's been happening since 2001 with the American Patriot Act. Zero privacy. Everything has been under surveillance ever since then. That was one of the, sleight of hands that happened in that time, and no one's ever noticed.
I've been thinking about something that I heard yesterday. I want to touch on this before we get into the last article. There was an act that went into effect in like the 60s, I think. And essentially what it said is that the government is not allowed, because basically the US, the US like right, constituents found out that the CIA was actually giving news to these news outlets. Like they were giving them the news, right? So what would we call that? It's propaganda. They're saying, hey, this is what you're going to push out. So when people found that out, they said, whoa, 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 whoa. No, absolutely not. That cannot happen. Okay. Fast forward. So that was like in the 60s. Fast forward to 1996, I think. Don't quote me on that. But a bill comes across that a bunch of people, and I wish I could give you the some real solid information here. I don't remember what it was, but there was a lot of people saying, heck yeah, let's do this, right? And slid into that bill was the repeal of the 60s thing that said that the government can't hand out news. And I think right now we are seeing more than ever the propaganda pushed out by our governments through our national media, left, right, everything in between. It's pushed through the media. We don't get the real stories. And Miguel, we're one of some random channels that probably actually talk about this and bring it to light. And that, my friend, is the reason that we are on a list.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's one of the least worrisome things that the CIA has done, right? Before I tie it back to crypto, right? MK Ultra. Anybody wants to know what that is? Google it. You'll be mind blown real quick what they were doing with that. But tying it back to privacy, they're going to come after these privacy coins. I've been saying it for a long time. They're gonna come after every layer possible of privacy because they know that cryptocurrencies are going to be the future forefront of economics, right? They understand that whether it's a CBDC, some different type of Bitcoin standard, something, right? Whatever it is, but they don't want it to be private. And they want to make sure that they can keep people under control. They want to make sure that they can visualize everyone's transactions, where they're going, how much they're spending, when they're doing it, when they're not, right? Meanwhile, they can use all these layers of privacy to their benefit. That's what's happening.
Yep.
But people need to be vigilant. And coming into the topic that we're going into now with politicians making promises for crypto, we need to make sure, like somebody said in the comments, in the chat, I don't remember who it was, said we need to bring this to our politicians and we need to make sure that privacy is a forefront detail that us the people show, hey, we want this and we demand to have privacy, and to make sure that that continues to be on our benefit, not their benefit. And all these promises that are coming from politicians now for the popularity, the trend of crypto, don't believe it, guys. Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah. 100%. So speaking on that, let's move over to this last article here. This is the one you guys have been waiting for. Candidate for Senate vows to make Bitcoin legal tender in the U.S. his, quote, primary objective. Senatorial candidate for the United States Senate Brian Solston has promised to focus on making Bitcoin legal tender should he be elected. The science, technology, engineering, and mathematics and privacy advocate announced on his Twitter on March 15th that he pledges to making the flagship digital asset legal tender his primary objective. I declare my candidacy for U.S. Senate. Making Bitcoin legal tender in the USA will be my primary objective on the Senate floor. Bitcoin is the great reset. Let's pause right there. Miguel, are you voting for this guy?
I don't know who this guy is. I'm not going to vote for someone I don't know. I'm going to have to do research on who this guy is, what he's been up to, right? What all these promises that he's made in the past and how he's kept up with it. So like any investment, you need to do your own research and make sure who these people are before you vote for them. Don't just take their word for it. They'll say anything in a campaign to get voted in.
Crypto fam, I promise you that was not scripted. I wanted Miguel to say exactly what he just said. I think we know each other very well. You can't just vote for a candidate just because there's one thing that you support, right? The other thing is, I don't know if anyone's noticed recently, but there's a certain somebody and in office right now who said a lot of things. And as we look around, a lot of things are not good. Okay. So
Not what they said they were.
They are a little different, just a little bit different. Let me go a little bit further with this and go a little further. In the U.S., legal tender refers to all currency and coins issued by the government, such as U.S. cash, dollars, and Federal Reserve notes. As such, the law recognizes them as a means of settling public and private debts, as well as meeting other financial obligations such as legal fines, damages, or tax payments. Should Solston manage to join the Senate and successfully advocate for Bitcoin to become legal tender, it would mean that citizens would be able to use the digital asset to pay off debts, among other things. Here's my thought, though. People, at least as of right now, until Bitcoin were to absolutely stabilize somewhere, some sort of stability, right? We've seen a lot of stability recently. The last couple of weeks has just been freaking boring, but it would need to be even way more stable than that. Until the point that Bitcoin actually is stable, the majority
of people, a matter of time, though.
Right, I get it. I'm with you on that. But what I'm trying to say is that the majority of people look at Bitcoin as a risk-on asset. And ultimately, when they buy Bitcoin, they are looking at it as an investment. I personally will not sell my Bitcoin to go buy a car. When Tesla did that, it was nothing but a marketing ploy. The majority, if we look into it, I can all but guarantee you, everyone that was doing this was doing it for one reason only: to tell others that they were able to do it, or they were so early into Bitcoin that it was like, hey, you know what? I was able to literally buy a Tesla for freaking 10 cents or what, you know what I mean? It was a flex of some sort. The reality is most people aren't going to want to sell their Bitcoin and pay off debts, if you will, with an asset that continues to appreciate.
Yeah, man. I mean, with this news is good, right? I like to hear this, but the actions need to follow up, right? This guy, him, and he's not going to do it himself, right? He's making this promise, but it's not a one-man team. He could be running for president and say, if I'm president, I'll make Bitcoin legal tender. That is still just a promise. He does not have that power as president to just declare, boom, this is now legal tender, right? So there's going to take a big cooperation between everybody in Congress to make sure that this were ever to actually happen. The volatility aspect is only a matter of time. It's only a matter of market cap. Get the market cap large enough where now the markets can't be swayed by a Bitcoin whale that just came in the other day and dropped a few million or a few $1 billion into the market. It will come to the point where the market cap is so large, it won't even feel it when a few billion exit the market. It just won't, right? That's the aspect that we are foreseeing for Bitcoin in the future, at some point in the future, where then it could be, some type of world reserve currency, some type of, legal tender somewhere. I mean, talking about one of the biggest things that people talk about when it comes to saying stuff like that it's not possible, are the gas fees. The gas fees for Ethereum and Bitcoin right now are 90% down. They are the lowest they've been since, I believe, August or July of last year.
They're
down. So down, dude. I was making transactions just the other day. You know what? I was making transactions about a week ago.
Yeah.
Midday on Ethereum, doing some transactions through MetaMask. Dude, $5.
Yeah.
$5 I was paying for gas fees. $5. Bitcoin, nonsense. Literally not even a factor right now. And look at the price that we're at, right? As the market cap gets bigger and bigger and bigger, these gas fees, they will have solutions. They will, and the volatility of the market at the same time will also be a lot more stable. I don't think it's going to be an issue. I definitely think they're thinking it's very possible, and
think of it this way:
adjust themselves.
I agree with you, and think of it this way: as Ethereum and Bitcoin and all these other cryptocurrencies that are actually going to be around, as they continue to actually become mainstream, right? Listen, the people in the chat right now, don't misunderstand things. If you walked around your neighborhood right now and started asking people to explain proof of work mining versus proof of stake, you're not going to have probably too many conversations with people that are able to explain it to you. You start asking, well, what's Ethereum do? Like, what are gas fees? What's Gwei? You start asking some of these questions, you're not going to have probably too many conversations. But what I'm getting at is, as that does become more of a normal conversation, as we do move towards the mainstream, you need to understand that it will get so massive that the gas fees don't need to be huge, right? They're going. Think about it this way: you have a company that is selling 10 products a year and needs to make $1,000. Well, then guess what? They need to sell each of those for $100. But you have that same company that now has 1,000 products, still needs to make the same amount of money. They're able to sell it for $1. And I know that's not a great example, but all I'm getting at is, as we continue to exponentially get bigger, those gas fees will need to be lower and lower and lower, and they won't be as big of a deal. And moving over to proof of stake and some of the other moves that are happening, along with layer 2 solutions like Polygon, we are setting ourselves up for ultimately winning. We're setting ourselves up for gasless or close to gasless transactions. There's already some platforms like IOTA that is either totally feeless or absolutely next to feeless. And each of those platforms has its own issues, things that, well, yeah, it's feeless, but you know what I mean? There's always that, but I don't think it's going to be that long before either one of these cryptocurrencies that's already in play solves the blockchain trilemma, or a new cryptocurrency comes on the scene and is able to solve it. So I think we're headed there. I think it's going to take a little more time.
I completely agree. I want to talk about a comment here. It says, I would pay discounted taxes with Bitcoin. And this is exactly what they're doing. They're doing it here in Miami. They're doing it in a lot of different places. They're incorporating Bitcoin to the average people by, hey, you can pay your taxes in Bitcoin. You can pay this in Bitcoin. You can buy a Tesla in Bitcoin. You can you can go to Starbucks and buy your Starbucks with Bitcoin and yada, yada. This is a trap, guys.
It'd have to be a heavy discount, by the way.
Well, yes, it would have to be a heavy discount to even consider it. But what I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, it's a trap. They are telling you that because they value and they understand that Bitcoin is more important than fiat. So they're saying, instead of giving me $1,000 in Bitcoin, in fiat, in cash, in US dollars, give me $200 in Bitcoin. So what does that mean? Those $200 are way more valuable to them than the $1,000 in fiat. So they're literally stealing your money. It makes it seem like there's a huge discount and you're, oh man, I'm winning in this transaction. Boy, you're not. They know something and they have a deeper understanding of something than you do. And they're trying to rob you from the future. Like literally time warp, reaching into the future and robbing you, just how inflation does, right?
Yep.
And that is what all these services are now accepting crypto, accepting Bitcoin, accepting whatever as payments.
That's a really good point.
All they're doing. They understand the future value, and it's going to be a lot more beneficial for them to hold that than dollars. Continue to spend your dollars as much as you can, because at the end of the day, you're getting hit with more and more inflation. The US dollar is getting closer and closer to zero. Bitcoin is nowhere near zero.
Yes, essentially what they're saying is, hey, we will take a mildly inflationary asset or even a deflationary asset and exchange it for something that's just absolutely going out of control with inflation. We'll trade you something that's headed up and to the right for something that's headed down. You know what I mean? Like, that's ultimately, you're right on with that, Miguel. You're spot on with that. I definitely agree with that 100%. So, crypto fam, listen, here's the moral of the story this evening, of the show. First of all, if you're not subscribed to Debate Crypto, fix yourself, right? You got to subscribe. Make sure you smash the likes. We always love and appreciate that. Share it out. Check out our academy. We do private seminars every single Sunday. We've got one of our members doing TA like out the wazoo. He's freaking fantastic. We appreciate that. And guys, it's just a great community, right? We'd love for you guys to be a part of it. The Debate Crypto Academy is also getting the first dibs and looks on some upcoming things that are ultimately going to be very financially beneficial, we'll say. There may or may not be a project that Miguel and I are working on that the Academy is going to have first dibs on. They will be whitelisted on. So I'm just throwing it out there. It's something to take a look at. We would love to have you guys, and we've got a lot of education going on over there. So here's the deal, fam. We love each and every one of you. We appreciate you. And what you need to remember is just to question everything.
Trust nothing.
And until next time, hodl
like it's hot. We'll
see you soon.
In a world where hopium and common sense collide, starring the CryptoKeeper and BlockchainCrusader. Welcome